Nice. Another Paisan, why not, at Mama Rosina's. Joe, this place looks exactly like the old train station from 50 years ago. How's that possible?
Well, yeah, it is. It is the old train station. It was built in 1911, I believe, and it has all the characteristics that it had back then. Even the bar, which is used to be the ticket booth here.
Nice. Oh yes, I can see that.
You know, one of the factors here that we still have to maintain it as it was years ago for historic purposes.
Oh well, that's nice that it keeps it preserved.
Correct.
Sweet.
And it has that unique sense of setting that is not seen around many places. It's where your bar is actually the ticket booth that used to be there. The trains actually stop in the back here.
I've heard them when I was here for dinner, and that is great.
Out, and it creates an atmosphere that is really unique. I mean, I love sitting out there myself.
It's lovely.
In the summer.
Right, you have outdoor dining.
Correct, yeah.
So like right now, it's kind of cold out there, so I wouldn't be out there for that, but there's outdoor dining. You get to watch the trains pull in and out. Right. It's quite wonderful, really. This is like a focal point as well in Bound Brook. Yeah,
it's located in the center town of Bound Brook, where for years now it's been improving, and it's getting to be a bustling downtown again.
Right
Years
around
ago,
the corner from the theater, which
correct.
If the
right
theater
the street.
does a lot of shows, hopefully that sends some people in and they're successful over there. It's a lovely theater.
That it does, yeah. That theater is another historic site.
I just want to say this about the theater. Phil Neary, I understand you passed away. May your soul rest in peace. God bless you. And back to Rosina's again. So we have one other thing I wanted to mention before we go in and cook, because I'll bring this up later. I understand that you're thinking of starting an open mic here on Sunday afternoons.
Yeah. I'm hoping that, we are going to. In hopes that people can enjoy some quality Italian food with some quality music.
So that's coming up the end of April?
Yeah, I believe. We haven't set an exact date, but we're looking for April, one of those days in April, where it'll be on a nice Sunday afternoon, where people could enjoy a Sunday afternoon meal, which I like to think myself, growing up Italian, that was the best day to eat on
all
Sunday
day
afternoon.
Eat.
Right.
Yeah.
And also have the ability to have entertainment. So that
you're going to have a bar menu aside from your regular menu here.
Yeah, we'll have some more items.
Some drink specials. Thinking at all about doing like a acoustic brunch or anything of that nature? Like
brunch is in the distance. We haven't really, gave that much effort to it right now. We'll see how it goes. We're thinking of doing a nice Sunday Italian prefixed meal where you have 4 or 5 different Italian courses.
Oh, beautiful!
That may, I think, to be
that'll be an attraction
to people.
Yeah, that would be a great
I know
attraction.
Myself, that's what I would go
And you'll
for.
be pairing the foods and possibly even the liquor, the wine or something.
Yes.
You have an extensive wine list here. I took a look at it. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. So,
in fact, one of the first Sundays that we're thinking of doing this is we're going to have a wine and food pairing dinner where you could actually purchase a ticket, sort of say, and enjoy 5 or 6 or 7 different courses of food with 4 or 5 different samples of different wines.
Wonderful. So, do you have a website? Can people check on that?
We do.
See when
I
it's
think we're going to
posted?
put it on there. I mean, we haven't gotten that far yet. It's still pretty short.
Folks, if you're interested, keep looking at Rosina's. You'll also find the full menu, the hours of operation. Right? And any updates on what's going on here at Rosina's. So, without further delay, we're going to take you into the kitchen. That's Pablo is going to be cooking with us.
Pablo with me will be cooking some of our signature dishes that we have. Some of the most popular ones. One is a shrimp Italiano. That is a simple shrimp sauteed in olive oil with some Italian spices, but for some reason it's dynamite.
Sometimes simple is delicious.
Yeah, I believe so.
And a chicken Rosina we're going to try, and a little pasta.
Correct. A signature dish of ours. Another very popular one is chicken Rosina's. And that's sauteed with artichokes, sun-dried tomato, mushrooms in a nice pink sauce topped with fresh mozzarella, which I'll talk to you more about it in the kitchen.
Okay.
But that's another big winner over here, so to say. And then we'll cook a little pasta. We'll make a Rigatoni Josef,
Nice.
which I actually named
Is
after
that your
me. This
namesake?
one. Yeah, I think I threw that one on my name. With some fresh rigatoni, with sliced sausage, fresh escarole, fresh tomato.
I love escarole.
Olive oil, garlic.
Yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
explain, I guess, more
Yeah.
of the ingredients when we get in the kitchen, but that's what we'll do. And then also, seeing that Lent's coming up, I guess we'll cook a little frutta di mare,
Beautiful.
which is seafood from the sea.
Beautiful. Let's get in the
That's
kitchen.
it.
I'm getting hungry here.
All right. Okay, here we are in the kitchen at Mama Rosina's, and we're going to create for you folks out there one of the favorite appetizers that we have on our menu. It's a shrimp Italiano, as we call it. I got Chef Pablo over here with me, who's going to go through this. He's going to start. We start with a saute pan. We hit it with some nice virgin olive oil, and we start with some fresh garlic. A little fresh garlic in the saute pan. Now, one of our techniques is we like to roast the garlic, really roasted, which gives it a nice taste and bite to the shrimp. Then we take our fresh shrimp, we give it a few minutes, a minute or so, and get it really nice and heated up. And we take our shrimp. We have like a nice fresh tiger shrimp. We throw them in our pan. Now this is an appetizer. We could also make it as an entree over pasta for you if you like, which is dynamite too. And we take some spices. Put in a little bit of pinch of salt. Over here everything's done with love, so we don't really measure stuff out. We do it from the heart. A pinch of salt, a pinch of oregano, a pinch of black pepper. We take some nice fresh parsley, throw it in there, and our paprika. Our paprika, which is a fresh basil, and we hit it with some nice paprika, giving it a beautiful red look to it. Now, we try to toss the shrimp around a little bit on each side, not overcooking the shrimp. Give the shrimp the right texture and bite that it's not overcooked, nor is it undercooked. This is also a great appetizer to dip in Italian bread. That's my favorite. You can slop up that oil with the Italian bread. It really knocks your socks off. We take our plate as it's heated up. Throw a little bit of decoration on there. And there you have it. He's going to plate it up. A beautiful shrimp Italiano appetizer, which is a dynamite starter to any Italian meal. And people simply go cuckoo for this one. Anyway, that's our shrimp Italiano. Next we're going to make one of our popular signature dishes, our Rigatoni Josef. We're going to start with a saute pan, some nice fresh virgin olive oil. We like to get our pan nice and hot. And then, of course, the number one ingredient in Italian cooking, garlic, freshly chopped garlic. We run that around in the olive oil, giving that garlic flavor. We take some fresh Italian sausage that's been just sliced. We throw in our saute pan, mix that a little together. Next we'll be tossing in fresh escarole. Put that in our saute pan. Let it simmer up, pretty much, quite a bit. Try to get those flavors mixed a little together as best as possible. Next we'll be throwing in a little fresh tomato. Just a little touch of fresh tomato. Just a blend in there. Give it a little color, a little more taste to it. After that, we take some white wine, shake it around, get the pan nice and hot, get all those juices from the bottom, simmered and steamed into that. Toss that around real nice so the flavors mix and blend together, creating a nice sauce on the bottom of the pan, and getting all the items that are in the pan to marinate together, sort of a romantic thing. Then I actually like to add a little touch of our fresh marinara that's made for today. We throw that right in the middle there. And we let it simmer for about 10 seconds. Again, sauteing and tossing and blending. Once that's all done, we'll take our rigatoni pasta. I was going to get our rigatoni. We have this one already partially cooked. And we'll dip that in hot water for a second or two, for about 5 seconds. We'll get it nice and hot. Now we want this pasta to marinate into the saute pan. So we blend them all together. And now we toss them a little gently with a spoon. So every bit gets a little sample of what's in there. Once in a while we lose a little rigatoni, and I get to eat it. Saute, normally I use my right hand, but I'll use the left. And you see them all blending nicely together. Now I believe we'll hit it with a touch of grated cheese, Pablo. Our little finishing touch of grated cheese on there, freshly grated Romano cheese. Again, sauteing, tossing, and you can see they're all blending nicely together. And we got to give it the smell. Yes, once that aroma is coming through with the sauces, the garlic, the fresh escarole, the fresh sausage, the olive oil, tutto goes buono, as they would say in Italian. That's ready. We're going to plate the food. We got our food here. We got our dish here, ready to go. We get a nice little spin to it. Lay it right on a plate. And there you have it. Voila. One of our signature dishes here at Mama Rosina's, Rigatoni Josef. Actually named after me, my name. An absolute delight. Next, we have another wonderful signature dish that we create here at Mama Rosina's Restaurante and Bar, which is chicken Rosinas, named after the place, which was named after my mother, who unfortunately we lost many years ago. It is sauteed chicken breast, which we start off first with, again, the number one Italian ingredient, extra virgin olive oil, in a nice hot saute pan. We take our freshly pounded out chicken breast and we dip it into flour on each side, giving it a little bit of a coating, but not too much. Our oil's hot. We throw in our saute pan. We do that again. Two nice chicken breasts. And we let that simmer in the olive oil for a while. And we're cooking all this. This is the actual start to finish time. Most of your cooking shows have stuff prepped up and cooked and they switch pans, but we're not that technically advanced yet. So we'll cook a little on each side as it's sauteed nicely. We'll take a little bit of the excess olive oil out sometimes. And we put a little bit of our freshly chopped garlic in there. Get that pan marinated nicely with that chicken breast. We take some nice butter. We throw in a couple cubes of butter in there, letting it marinate with the chicken, the olive oil, and a little garlic, and getting our sauteed pan basted. Next, we'll take our freshly sliced mushrooms, and we'll give it a nice helping of mushroom on top. Excuse my hands, I washed them, but I don't have gloves on. Anywho, now we let that blend together. Next, we take our fresh artichokes and we throw them in our saute pan. Shaking the pan as we go. Fresh sun-dried tomatoes. Now, they're not fresh, they're sun-dried, but they're sun-dried tomatoes. They go in there. Now we got pretty much all our ingredients as that's steaming and firing in a saute pan. Next we'll put a little touch of homemade, our white wine. So it steams from the bottom of the pan up, marinating all those juices, as you can see. Our pan's nice and hot, and our items are cooking. We'll add a little bit of heavy cream around the pan. As that all simmers together, our next item that goes in there is our freshly daily made marinara sauce, which I happen to have handy right here. And I scoop a nice scoop of that in there, spreading it throughout the saute pan. As all that's boiling and bubbling together, we give it a little shake, 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 shaky shake. It's all in the wrist over here. You got to know how to use the wrist. So, as you can see, they're blending together. The tomato sauce with the heavy cream, with the wine, the olive oil, while the chicken is just laying there, roasting itself nicely and blending together. At times you take a little spoon just to make sure everything is cooking nicely and cooking uniformly in this step. As that's done, we take a little saute pan on top just to give it a little more heat and actually soak in all that cream so it creates a nice, thick, beautiful pink cream sauce. Next, Pablo's going to bring over some nice fresh mozzarella. As you can see, everything is nicely steaming together. We put fresh mozzarella on there, on the top, giving it its final taste of goodness. We let the mozzarella steam with all the juices a little bit, and we're ready to plate the food. As this is steaming together, top comes off. As you can see now, everything is nicely blended together. And now the trick is to get this beautiful dish out of this saute pan and onto the dish in a proper, not too messy fashion. And here we go. Voila. Okay, once in a while you get a little chop on the side, but that's about it. We pinch it with a little fresh parsley on top for a little look, and there you have it. Our, at this point, almost world famous chicken Rosinas here at Mama Rosina's restaurant in Bound Brook in the old train station building. Okay, for our final dish, we're going to prepare for you what's known as frutta d'amore. In Italian, it's translated to American as seafood from the sea. Seeing that it's a time of Lent, some people like to eat more fish. So we like to make a nice frutta d'amore here. We begin with our hot saute pan, and as usual, our number one ingredient, olive oil. And we throw that in our saute pan. Of course, the other number one ingredient, number two in this case, freshly chopped garlic. Now here, we want to add a very good amount of garlic. We want that seafood to soak it up. Next, what we'll do is get that olive oil and garlic marinating together. take, we lost something. Okay. We'll take some fresh fish. In this case, we're using fresh tilapia. And we'll throw that in the pan. Along with some of our fresh shrimp. Now you see the garlic roasting nicely, the fish. We take our clams. We pre-cook these just a little bit so they're nice and clean and they cook in there. Try to marinate that together a little bit. At times you have to hit it with some wine as it's cooking. Get the steam going. Marinating everything nicely together. Alright, fresh wine. We'll take some fresh mussels, we'll throw them in there. We hit it with some fresh chopped basil. Try to make sure it gets around to every little bit. We'll take some calamari, maybe sliced up, and that'll be our final ingredient. Slice that in. We have calamari with tubes and some tentacles, but mostly tubes. But you throw a few little tentacles in there. We want them all to just blend together in the pan. All sit around, nicely blending, making beautiful music together as it steams and sautés. Next, again, we'll take our freshly made marinara sauce. A nice good helping of that. And put that in there as it's simmering, blending together. Okay. Then we'll give it a little pinch of pepper flakes. Actually, a great pinch of pepper flakes. Depending on how hot people like it, if they want it fried diavolo style, which tends to be more spicy, we can add more heat to it with pepper flakes and other freshly chopped peppers that we have here. But we'd like to make it a little on the mild side. People seem to enjoy that. But if you get a few people that like it hot, which I do too, very much so, I get that. Now that all blends together. We'll put a little pinch of black pepper in there. And our last ingredient, if we can find it, they all simmer together. They take a nice little jacuzzi in here together. All the clams, shrimp, mussels, fish, all taking a nice little hot tub bath. We take some clam juice, and this will be our last ingredient. And it'll steam everything up. We take a lid. Another saute pan. Where's the top spot? Sorry. I want sure it's not cooking there. Spread everything apart so it's cooking evenly. We're going to try not to overcook our shrimp and our fish. And we top it off for a minute. We'll get our plate ready. We'll get our linguine ready. As this is placed over a nice bed of linguine pasta, which all the sauce absorbs into it, creating a wonderful pasta on top of your sea of fish. As we throw our linguine in hot water, cook it up. That we had we did for camera time, cook it ahead of time a bit, and we put that on a plate here. We'll put our hot plate here. We'll check our seafood to make sure everything is cooked and blended together. We'll just toss a little bit, toss a little bit. Everything looks beautiful. The aromas are coming up through this nose that God gave me a nice big Italian schnoz so I can smell this stuff properly and make sure it's right. Where most people have to dip their finger in, my nose does the job. I take a little spoon and I begin to plate my dish. And I plate it nicely around and around, mixing in the shrimp, the clams, the fresh tilapia, all fresh seafood that we purchased here at the restaurant. We try every day, sometimes every other day, but we sell quite a bit of it and maintain its freshness. We load up a dish. Everybody in the pool together. Oh, once in a while, one little shrimpy wants to jump out. We got to get him back in. As you can see now, what's happened is with all those spices, we create a beautiful seafood sauce. With the olive oil, the wine, the clam cheese. Excellent. And that's going to go on top. And as that soaks through, it'll hit the pasta on the bottom. And there you have it. Our wonderful Fruta di Mare over linguine at Mama Rosina's. Of course, we hit it with a little fresh parsley on the top for decoration purposes, a little bit on the rim, and that's a dish you don't have to fly to Italy for. You just have to come here to Hamburg.
Joe, OMG, this is everything you just made in the kitchen. Let me shake your hand. Oh my God, you are just spectacular. Look at that. Chef boy, oh boy, right here.
Sounds good.
Anything you want to say about your food?
Well, just to go through it again, we'll start at the end there. We have our chicken Rosina again.
Beautiful.
A signature dish. Our Fruta di Mare.
Beautiful.
Over a bed of linguine. It's wonderful. Our appetizer of shrimp Italiano, olive oil, garlic, and all the Italian spices. And our Rigatoni Josef.
Beautiful.
And here we are. The favorite part of this is, as I believe one of the chefs on television says in Italian, tutta la tavola. Meaning that everybody at the table, it's time to eat.
Joe, without further ado, we're hungry. We're hungry. Everybody, I want to thank you for coming down here to Mama Rosina's. You got to meet Joe in the place over here. This is Jim. This is Fred. We're going to get down to eat. So thank you very much for watching and letting us into your living room. So thank you and good night.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
And salute.
Salute.